Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Watch Out of Realms video. Guys, we've got some crazy news that has just dropped. And yeah, I can't wait to talk you through it. One of the big boys is in a ×10 this weekend. It's not a dragon. So chilled. He doesn't care. Whatever. He takes them all down. Hex is going to be this week's event. I'm going to show you some stuff on my Hex right now. But yeah, just dropped. The Mad Diviner is going to be one of the champions on a 10 times this weekend. We've also got some new hero info. So we've got the Healing Parasite, Ferssi here, Inspiration and Damage Reduction. So have a quick look at this. Wide heal. Let's just max her out. Wide heal, so like a Vortex style heal. That's nice. Okay. Damage reduction and buffing. After 5 seconds without performing any healing, the healing's multiplier for next heal will be big. Actually part of the Infernal group as well. Okay. So attack-based healing. Yeah, much prefer HP-based healing personally, because it means they become quite tanky as well. But anyway, attack-based healing heals all allies in range one time with 100% healing multiplier and applies inspiration to 3 units with the highest attack. So 15%. Let me just check here what the epic, who's actually a legendary's stat is. She applies 40% inspiration to all allies in range. Do you feel like they just made a mistake with Dolores? Because, I mean, 15%, less than, it's almost like a third as good, only to 3 allies for 10 seconds. Bizarre. Anyway, what else is going on? Whenever an ally in range receives AoE damage, their received healing is increased and applies AoE damage reduction. This is quite interesting to allies in range. Reduces 5%. It's only AoE. 5% goes up to 25% with books. You really need to book her out for that to be useful. 25% damage reduction just to allies in range. I mean, that's actually huge. So if you imagine you've got your healer who's also doing damage reduction, who's also doing inspiration. I guess it depends how much healing this champion does. I will say that's big. That damage reduction when booked is big. This is a cool buff we know anyway, and it is in range. So actually, like, her range is massive. Does she replace someone like a Hollow maybe in a team? Anyway, interesting champ. Let's just have a quick look. Awakenings here. Enhances when Sand's bestowal is triggered. Restores HP equal to 40% of her attack. Stats. Trigger interval is reduced. Rage regen up. Healing multiplier up. Okay. So pretty decent, I think. But anyway, main event is going to be Hex available this weekend on a 10 times. Now, let me just show you a quick. I'll show you a guild boss run of mine. We can just do an auto fight here against guild boss 3. So Hex is in the back for me. I'm using a comp which has got one of the lords for Hex. Okay, so he does more damage when that lord is in the mix. This is a rage regen comp, so we're basically dropping down Laurel whenever we can. I did a video on this already. And we're trying to get our ultimates back just as frequently as we can to push damage, okay? Hex is in there as one of my big damage dealers. So Salazar, so Zillatu, so Setram. I've got some big hitters in the group. Yeah, it's not. I've got Twin Fiend in there as well. It's not a cheap group. It is full stacked of good champions. I've got Aracha in there who's boosting the Hex bonus with her Lord Power. And you can see here I'm fighting Nightmare 3. Now, I used to use Wrath to boost my Nightmare units, but I switched over to using Aracha to boost my Hex. I don't even have the other dude, Silas, who would make this team even more, way stronger. But you'll just see the damage in a minute that Hex is pumping out, because it blew my mind. He literally went from like my 4th best damage dealer in the squad to #1 by changing the team comp and changing his position. And I'm now smashing. Do I get my 20k? I didn't get it. Normally I get my 20k blood in one hit. Sad day. Sad day. Anyway, we nearly got it. That's a bit annoying though, because 20k blood is a massive jump in terms of rewards. Anyway, yeah, so 19.794, whatever. And then if we look at the stats, Hex absolutely nuking the top of my stat board. Yeah, 67 versus Zilla2 second place, 52. Then, you know what's happened? I switched Salazar's gear for someone for an Overlord hit. That's why he's done no damage. He's full naked. Anyway, Hex is an absolute beast. I mean, he's just probably up there. I use him in so many places. He's in my he's in arena teams. He is in my clan boss team, my guild boss team. He's in my gear raid 3 team. He's just all over the place. Void Rift, I use him a ton. He does a lot of damage. He's got actually a really cool ability as well to just not die. What's the one I'm talking about? He's got a stun, which is cool as well. Was it just inbuilt in his talent? I can't think where it's actually written down. Maybe it's in here. I don't know where it is. Basically, he's got this ability to not die. Becomes invincible. Is it here? Or like he can just dodge. When triggered by receiving damage, resists the incoming damage and gains invisibility. That's it. So in fights where you can get absolutely like hard nuked, sometimes he will just stay alive. Happens sometimes even in places like the in the Tide. Sometimes in the Tide, if you've got a really hard level, he could be the one standing. In big like Void Rift fights, he could be the one standing. So yeah, he does some pretty nutty stuff. He is definitely worth summoning for, in my opinion, on a 10 times event. If there's other reasons to do it as well, which there will be, because there's going to be summoning for the Lord event that's going on tomorrow. So yeah, massive weekend. Good luck if you're going to pull for him. I would if I was you. Anyway, I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you soon.